Bush Tea in the Morning with your hostess with the mostest, Neka Neekes. Be sure to grab a cup and we're about to get it started. You know what time it is, baby. It's tea time. Let's go.
Neka Neekes, you're not frightened for hype nor your plastic smile. Cause we up full and bright. The king already guiding you before your foot touch this alien. Neka Neekes up full and it no matter who I eat pan we always live free. Neka Neekes, you're up full and just know that you love Jah and Jah love way. We up full and boondocks to the world. Up full attitude said that. Neka Neekes, bless play.
Today is a wonderful day. Mess up. Today is a wonderful day too. Rolling the cook, no top, it's hot, so the top of the cup got dropped. Wow, slide with a 4 o'clock.
Good morning.
It's gonna pop. Man, talk back, calm down. You wanna be calm? Now you was loud on the phone, get loud. Now you wanna be quiet. Why? See him let the Glock go fire.
Hey,
Please go fire. Stupid looking.
how we doing?
Shots in a tutu. Hit it up 2 times like wham.
How are you doing? How are you doing? Good morning. It's Tuesday. 21 days into the month of July.
Count. That work, I was back at a jet like.
Hey, talk to me. How are you doing? What's going on in the land of these emeralds of the sea that we call home, huh?
Cool like swear. Damn, forgot I had put that perk.
Hey, it's Tuesday. Shout out to St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, Tortola, BVI, Puerto Rico. How are you doing?
Today is the day I told you.
Shout out to the TuneIn app. Shout out to the Facebook Live. Anywhere you can hear my voice, anywhere you can see me. Good morning to you guys. Good morning to everybody on the dial.
I'm going swimming today. Where? I'm swimming with the shot.
They gon' buy, gotta fight, do ball, 3 all bop in the in the sky. 2, 3 beans running green like lane shots, ring go bean, you be looking 1 eye. Good afternoon, somebody might die. Touch me, gang, let's fly. No, wait, not let's fly. Touch little we gon' eat it no more.
Hey.
No mask, whipping that. My rock.
Yes. Listen up. And what is debate going on? Lord of mercy. The time is narrowing down. Yes, that's right. It's election season and nobody ain't coming to play. Lord of mercy. The biggest and the hottest talk on the air as well as on the algorithm right now is, of course, these debates that are taking place because it's really kind of helping people to make the decisions that they need to make in order to decide who they want to vote for. Yesterday opened up early voting all throughout the territory. Yesterday, July 20th. Today's the 21st, the second day of early voting. Who you rolling with?
Early, I just woke up to a slush.
Huh?
Just like a horse, so I told her giddy up.
Talk to me. What we got in our cup this morning? Let me know because I got me some, you know me, legendary lemongrass.
Then I stomp he's by himself, so he
But all week long we talking about moringa.
dead on my mom.
That's right, moringa run the road right now.
Bad morning for the we kick her out.
They say that's a tree of life, and we need that. Rock with that. Give me some life, man.
Bet not play. I'm breaking them racks up bank. Clicks and racks on top of your head.
Gotta say a huge thank you to our sponsors. Shout out to My Loud Variety Store and Smoke Shop right there in the Barron Spot Shopping Center. All right, that's where we hosted our 3rd annual back to school giveaway drive over the weekend. On Saturday, we had so many smiling faces come out to support. So many parents that came out with the kids as well, and everybody went home winners for real. Hey. And we had so many volunteers that came out to support. I got to say a huge thank you to our sponsors because guess what? That's not the end of it, you know. This weekend, as of Saturday, July 25th, we are going to be on the rock. Roe FM will be on the road yet again. You already know. That's right, because the back to school giveaway continues right down Rock City. We got another 500 backpacks ready to go, as well as supplies for each bag. We're going to be there from 12 to 3 p.m. on St. Thomas, July 25th, Emancipation. We got free cones, face painted, popcorn. We got more for the kids receiving book bags as well as free haircut certificates. And we're going to be raffling some of those things as well. Everything from the haircut certificates. We got some custom bags that we're also gonna be given out, and I gotta say a huge thank you again to Nav Jewelers because they donated the character book bags as well as some copy books. Okay, character book bags, the kids definitely love those because, you know, like Doc McStuffins, Frozen, Mickey Mouse, the Avengers, you name it, like just to name a few. Okay, those are some of the items that I know these kids really loved and they enjoyed. You should have seen their faces, man. We had a set of sisters that got matching backpacks as well too. So they are ready to start school and head on in there, swag and style intact. I'm telling you. And these book bags are coming equipped with just about all the essentials you could possibly need. Everything from rulers to scissors, pencils, colored pencils, pens. They got what else they had in there? Some copybooks, some folders, some erasers, sharpeners, all that good stuff. So even onto glue. I'm telling you, like based on the list that I see the schools have been putting out, these are the essentials that are really getting them through, especially that first week of school. Okay, so congratulations to everybody that came out and participated. St. Thomas, you got next. We can't say thank you enough to those of you who came out and supported. And I want to say thank you to our sponsors because we're still promoting it, because St. Thomas, you still got next, man. We ain't done quite yet. That's just one down, one more to go, and that would wrap up our third annual back to school giveaway for this year. So a huge thank you to our generous sponsors: Office of the Governor, VI Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation, VI Department of Education, Suffolk CBNA JV. Their representative from St. Thomas came over to assist in distributing backpacks over here on the Big Island, and they're going to be in St. Thomas with us again. They're doing all the hard work to make sure that we are rebuilding the schools in the territories. I got to give a huge shout out to them. Also, MCM Bill doing the same right here in the Big U.S. Virgin Islands. Gage Edmonds for Senate, Shane Trucking, Christie's Real Estate, Liberty VI, One Communications, who made sure to provide the cell phones as well as the MiFi devices that we're giving away as well. Church's Chicken, J. Benton Construction, Sea Glass Properties, Precision Auto Parts, Legacy Tires, Julian's Trucking, Phantom Eyes, Blood Variety Store and Smoke Shop, Rittenhouse Consulting, The Makeup Bar, Chitotli Services LLC, Keswick Insurance, Isavai Promotions, SAB Construction, Caravel Hotel and Casino, The Flaming Grill, Violet's, Armstrong Ice Cream, Caribbean Cooling, James Funeral Home, Bates Trucking and Trash Removal, Jackie's Beauty Supply Store, and all of us at 101.3 Roe FM, baby. Gotta say a huge shout out to the family, the crew, everybody that comes through. You already know. So next week, well, not next week, this weekend, we're gonna be big pulling up on the rock on Saturday to make sure that we can do it yet again in the best way. So make sure you're out there. Don't be late. All right, Big Row is very punctual. So 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. is when we're gonna be there. Look for the balloons right there in the gazebo in Emancipation Garden. All right, make sure you get there early so that you can get ample parking and opportunity to beat the rush. Okay, last year was a whole lot of fun and we enjoyed it. Same way, music, goodies for the kids. You know, we're gonna be taking pictures and doing giveaways as well. So come on out. We ask for a little bit of patience because we do want to make sure that we're able to conduct these giveaways fairly and squarely. All right, so do come out and bring an umbrella. Like the sun hot, but that's all right. We got some refreshments and things out there for you as well. The kids who are receiving backpacks each get their tickets for the raffles as well as vouchers, their snow cones, and their popcorn and the items that we're going to be giving away. Okay, so be sure to get there early. Things are available while supplies last. All right, I gotta say a huge shout out to the Flaming Grill STX. They're one of our sponsors as well for the Bush Tina Mana Radio Show. Today is Tuesday, so you know today is Roti Day. I ain't gotta say it because we already know every week. You know Tuesday is Roti Day, okay? And that's why today they got bone in, bone out, or shrimp. So make sure you go and check it out. All right, they got specials all week long, every week. It's not always the same thing every week, so you definitely should be listening to 101.3 Roe FM so you can find out what the specials are. But give them a call at 340-778-6270 and they'll be able to put in your order for you. Make sure you beat the rush as well too, okay? That's the Flaming Grill STX, formerly known as Spicy Grill, right there on the Queen Mary Highway, across from the Ag Fair grounds. Don't miss it, don't diss it. You already know. And also, guys, this is the last lap for Liberty VI's True Fiber deals and discounts. Listen, these rates that they have right now are not going to last. So you got to make sure that you sign up. Right now, they got free installation. That's right, FREE free, your favorite four-letter F word, FREE free. So make sure you go and check it out. You get free installation as well as 30 days of a money back guarantee. All right, for those of you who sign up for the services, don't miss it, because listen, school's starting up and you want to make sure that you have the best in service when it comes to your fiber experience. Okay, head on over to www.libertybi.com for more information. All right, there are several locations on St. Thomas, several locations here on St. Croix. The main location, of course, here on St. Croix is Sunny Isles Shopping Center, which is where we were able to sit down with Liberty VI. Shout out to Darren and the whole crew, because you know, customer service was top tier. You gotta say, from the door all the way through the store, they had the best in customer service experience. So be sure to go and check them out. All right, that being said, guys, we're going to cut to a brief commercial break and we'll be right back with our tea time portion of the morning. Oh yes, good morning, Michael. I see you. Yes, definitely make sure to go and check out Liberty VI. Hey guys, we're going to be right back. I got my tea ready. I hope you got yours. If not, grab a cup and pull up. It's that time, baby. Bush tea in the morning with your girl Neeks, right here on 101.3 Roe FM WEVI and Bush tea in the morning. Keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial.
Desperation. That's what you're seeing from the Roach Francis campaign. They've launched a wave of negative attacks, trying to tie Stacey Plaskett to the worst person in Virgin Islands history, Jeffrey Epstein. But in politics, the loudest finger-pointing usually comes from the people with the most to hide. Let's talk about the real numbers. According to official FEC filings, Stacey Plaskett's congressional campaign received a little over $8,000 from Epstein. And what did she do with it? She didn't keep it. Plaskett gave every single dollar directly to women's support organizations right here in the Virgin Islands. In fact, Stacey Plaskett is the only person in the Virgin Islands where the Epstein victims themselves completely dismissed any claims against her, clearing her name once and for all. But the Roach Francis campaign? Pure hypocrisy. Reports and files reveal that the Brian Roach campaign received the most money of all, a staggering $380,000 connected to Epstein. They want to talk about dirty money? Look at their own bank accounts. Multiple politicians and local nonprofits took his money. You want to know who else took money from Epstein? 4 major organizations in our community, and even Donna Fret Gregory accepted laptops from Epstein for the children of the Virgin Islands as Commissioner of Education, though she returned the money she received. But it gets worse. FBI reports show that Lieutenant Governor Roach's campaign received over $300,000 from Epstein. The official Epstein report explicitly shows wire transfers of even $75,000 directly to the campaign. Over $300,000. So we have to ask, why hasn't Lieutenant Governor Roach acknowledged this? Why hasn't he apologized to the people for taking that money? Why has he said absolutely nothing about it? What else is he hiding? Why is he always silent when trouble comes? Virgin Islands, it's time to reject the hypocrisy. Demand
Hey,
truth.
have you checked the cistern lately?
Yeah, and don't worry, I already called Julian's Trucking.
Julian's Trucking for cisterns and pool fills?
Exactly! They handle cistern fills and pool fills. Fast, reliable, and hassle-free.
That's a relief. Last time we waited forever.
Now, with Julian's, they show up when they say they will, and they get the job done right the first time.
All right, what's the number?
Just call Julian's Trucking today at 340-277-8510 or 340-277-9093.
Cistern full, pool ready, stress gone.
Julian's Trucking, your trusted choice for cistern and pool fills. Are you tired of being stuck on the road with a flat or needing a battery jump and no one's there to reach you? Napa understands. So Napa Auto and Truck Parts St. Croix is announcing their Roadside Independence Tool giveaway. And here are the details. Napa is giving away one Napa 1000 peak battery amps jump starter with 120 PSI air compressor, 3.1 amp USB power, and LED light. All you have to do to enter is fill out an entry form in store. Then purchase any item from the clearance shelf or manager special shelf by July 9th for additional entries and place your entry form in the designated box with the cashier. You can earn one additional entry for every item purchased from the manager's special shelf or clearance shelf. See our Facebook page for more details, and the giveaway is all year long. A special congratulations goes to our last winner of the Father's Day promotion package valued at over $1,000. Congratulations, Ferdinand Abraham. No purchase necessary. See store for details. Need a dumpster bin rental? Planning a land clearing or demolition project? Shane Trucking has you covered with 20-yard and 30-yard dumpster bin rentals at special rates. When it comes to dependable service, affordable pricing, and getting the job done right, there's only one name you need to remember. That's Shane Trucking. Call or text 340-626-9178. That's 340-626-9178. Shane Trucking. The care is superior and the service speaks for itself.
My fellow Virgin Islanders, this is Stacey Plaskett. At the beginning of this year, I spoke about the frustration expressed by so many that what we could have was slipping away. Opportunity, momentum, faith that things could truly get better. I understood that feeling then and now, but I do not accept that outcome. I do not accept schools in disrepair while billions have been secured to rebuild them. I do not accept families planning their lives around power outages. I do not accept seniors, children, and vulnerable residents waiting too long or traveling too far for care. I have spent my life being told what could not be done, that I could not finish law school while raising young children, that a delegate from a territory could not earn a seat on Ways and Means, that the Virgin Islands could not secure the recovery support we deserved after Irma and Maria. I heard all of that, and then I did the work. That same determination is why I'm running for governor. We have lost time. We do not have to lose our future. Milton Potter and I are ready to turn resources into rebuilt schools, better health care, more reliable power, and a government that respects you. People powered, ready to deliver. On August 1st, vote number 2. Stacey Plaskett and Milton Potter. Vote for the power of 2.
Sponsored by Plaskett Potter for People.
Esto es lo que demuestra el récord. Gobernar es una oportunidad para cumplirle al pueblo virgen isleño. Tregenzo Roach y la administración Brian Roach tuvieron 8 años. 8 años con la responsabilidad de administrar nuestro dinero público. 8 años para fortalecer los controles y proteger la confianza del pueblo. Durante la administración Brian Roach, el excomisionado de policía Ray Martínez y la exdirectora de la Oficina de Administración y Presupuesto, la señora Jennifer O'Neill, fueron declarados culpables en un caso federal de corrupción pública. Uno era responsable de nuestra seguridad pública, la otra era responsable de nuestro presupuesto. Ahora Tregenzo Roach desea el cargo más alto. Antes de votar, pregúntese, ¿quién protegió nuestro dinero? ¿Qué demuestra el récord? Haz tu plan. Vota en la primaria demócrata el 1 de agosto. Pagado por Virgin Islands Advancement Coalition.
The new 101.3 Roe FM.
This is the VI Star Boy, Bugsy Bugs, Busy Bee. And it's all about the Bush Tea in the morning show. I get my Bush Tea power on there. Hey, DJ, hey, Neka Neekes. How we go? 101.3 Roe FM. Go higher.
That's right. That's the only way we going, baby.
All I need me to vent is a mic. All I need in my bed is my wife. boy can't leave from his side.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
He could come, he could read, he could write.
That's right, that's right.
Back down, kinda wet, never dry.
Yes. How are you doing? It's 101.3 Roe FM WEVI.
By yourself, man, smoke in a room. Getting blow.
It's tea time, baby. It's Bushy in the morning with your girl Neeks.
Ain't how we feel, but we live to tell a story. No guts, no glory.
It's Tuesday morning. Yes. No matter what you're going through, keep your head. That's right, that's right. Listen me, I'm telling you. Bugsy, shout out. That's a big tune there for me, man.
It's out of the question.
Today we're going to be talking about moringa leaf tea. First of all, did y'all go and vote? Did you get it out the way?
Please get that feeling lonely.
It's only we gonna save we, baby. So I gonna remind you every single day to make sure to go and do the right thing. All the way till August 1st, so we got the primaries.
No guts, no glory.
But that being said, let's get into the tea time portion of the day, all right? Because, listen, we got some birthday shout-outs to do. We're going to talk about the tea of the day. We can start with that really quick, right? So, moringa leaf is an earther or drink made from the leaves of the moringa oleifera tree, sometimes called the drumstick tree, the horseradish tree, ben oil tree, or the miracle tree. Okay, I've heard a few of these, like the miracle tree, but the drumstick tree, you know what, that... sound like KFC. But anyways, it's originated in South Asia, but is now cultivated in tropical and subtropical communities all around the world. Its leaves and young pods are eaten as vegetables, while dried leaves are commonly ground into powder or steeped to make tea. Moringa leaves contain plant proteins and nutrients, including vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, magnesium, and iron. Let me tell you something. 3 out of those items I just listed are difficult to get out of your food. So just by adding moringa to either your tea, your soups, your cooking, all of that stuff automatically gives you and your family a boost of nutrition that otherwise you gotta take tablets to get. So why not just get it the natural way, right? Go ahead and get you some moringa leaves. All right. So they also contain naturally occurring antioxidants and plant compounds. However, there's an important difference between eating the whole leaves and drinking a strained cup of tea. Whole leaves provide fiber and more of the plant's nutrients. This is one of those trees that I say you could literally just crush up the leaves and throw them in your mouth. And the same with the seeds. Okay, that's why they call it the tree of life, because like straight from the ground you could just yum 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 and you get to go. Okay, now while the amount extracted into tea depends on how many leaves are used and how long they are steeped, the whole leaves provide fiber and more to plants' nutrients. Moringa leaves also contain antioxidants that help the body to respond to oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress, Neeks? Okay, I got you. Hold on. Oxidative stress develops when unstable molecules known as free radicals build up faster in the body than the body can manage them. Researchers have identified flavonoids and other antioxidant compounds in moringa, although the amount delivered by an ordinary cup of tea may be much lower than the concentrations used in laboratory studies, right? Especially if the tea comes from hand washing. You know we like it strong, okay? So moringa has also been examined for possible anti-inflammatory activity. Laboratory and animal studies suggest that compounds in the leaves may influence inflammatory processes, so it helps to just flush and purge the body of inflammation. We need that. Work with that, okay? Now, the research is promising, but it does not prove that moringa tea can treat arthritis, heart disease, cancer, or other inflammatory conditions. If you know anything about the stipulations in our country, they technically can't say that. So even if that is the case, they can't say that, okay? All right, so we know the real. Stronger human studies are still needed, and in many communities, moringa is valued as a nutrient-dense food. The leaves may be added to soups, stews, salads, sauces, smoothies, or even porridge. Now, I don't know about that, because I like a good porridge, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel if I see something green ringing rung in my porridge. I don't know. What y'all think? Talk to me, okay? 340-715-7948. You can always join in on the conversation. But listen, people sometimes drink moringa tea for general wellness, energy, and immune support. The tea may complement a healthy diet, but it should not replace balanced meals, vegetables, fruit, protein, sleep, hydration, or professional treatment for a nutritional deficiency. All right, so best way to prepare it is to place approximately 1 teaspoon of dried moringa leaves or a small handful of fresh leaves into a cup. Pour hot water over the leaves over the cup and allow the cup to steep for 5 minutes. To steep it, you just literally put something over it. I like to use glass and not plastic because you don't want microplastics in your foods. As a matter of fact, let's get away from using plastic spoons, plastic cups, plastic bowls. That might sound like I'm saying a lot, right? But it's very possible. And I prefer either stainless steel or what do you call it again? Ceramics. Yeah, I like ceramics and glass. Why? Because they don't leave nothing in your food. You're just eating and drinking what you put in there and nothing more, right? So that being said, don't steep with nothing plastic. Steep with a ceramic bowl or something metal, right? So you gotta make sure you steep it. And as a green, mildly bitter and earthy flavor, it may be combined with ginger, cinnamon, mint, lime, lemon, or a small amount of honey. They say small, but honey good for you, eh? So, all right, eating the leaves as a food is also generally considered safe for many adults, and supplements and concentrated extracts are stronger and require greater caution. So make sure you're utilizing caution, okay? And that is moringa all week long. That is what's trumping true for all of us. That being said, guys, let's get into the birthday hour because we got a lot to celebrate. And we got those birthdays, those cancers. Wait a minute. Today's July 21st. Yep, 2 more days until Leo season officially begins. 2 more days, Lord. Cancer season. You come true hard, heavy stepping, big time. You already know. So
back to make sure I'm a leader.
Hey.
With the gladiator school, I'm a true.
Let's just get straight into it. You already know, guys. The number to call 340-715-7948. Who we wishing happy birthday to today? Let me find out. Hey. Yes.
Yeah. Happy birthday, I'm a friend.
That's right. We got some big birthdays today.
Give thanks for life.
Next year, we're doing it again and again.
Happy birthday, I'm a friend.
7 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Don't be shy. Be sure to give us a call, 340-715-7948. That's the number to call to wish your loved ones a happy birthday. But even if you don't, listen, I always got a list ready, okay? We got Shatima Jalswell. Happy birthday, classmate. Much love and blessings to you. You're a cancer. Dang. Julia Asland. Happy birthday to you. Earl Positive P. Morton. Happy birthday to you. Kendall Casey Henry. I see you. Happy birthday. Believe it. If you see him, make sure to tap him on the shoulder and let him know happy art strong. Blessings. T-Shell Watley. Happy birthday, classmates. You already know from the Rock City. Doing it big. Also, happy belated birthday to Kaya George, Jabuda Liebert, Melbourne Williams, Kyle Corver, Stephen Moore, Shamal De Castro representing ASEO, and Hubert Bartlett. Happy birthday to you guys, man. Blessings always. Oh yes, guys, we're gonna cut to a brief commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna get into the meat and the nitty-gritty part of the morning. We got some things to talk about for sure. All right, so keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these messages. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush T in the morning. Don't touch that dial.
You're listening to Everything Virgin Islands. 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI.
1 gig for $50 a month and a 30-day money-back guarantee? Are you fiber kidding me? I'm in. Charles, take the mic. I have to go. vi.com/fiber and switch to Liberty True Fiber now. Look! 1 gig upload, 1 gig download. Perfection! I'm downloading a video on how to upload videos while uploading a video on how to download them. All at the same time. Symmetrical. Beautiful. 1 gig for $15 a month. Switch to Liberty True Fiber now. Visit libertyvi.com/fiber.
It's time for the biggest back-to-school giveaway of the year. 101.3 Roe FM is giving away 1,000 free book bags and supplies to help our students head back to school prepared and ready for success. Join us Saturday, July 18th at the Barron Spot Village Mall on St. Croix and Saturday, July 25th at Emancipation Garden on St. Thomas. The fun kicks off at 12 noon and goes until 3 p.m. Kids receiving book bags will also enjoy free snow cones, face painting, haircut certificates, and so much more. And that's not all. Thanks to One Communications, we're giving away 5 iPhone 16 Pro Max devices and 5 MiFi devices. Plus, don't miss the Pass It Down uniform give back in collaboration with the Butterfly Effect, helping families prepare for the new school year. This community event is made possible by our generous sponsors: Office of the Governor, the VI Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation, the VI Department of Education, Suffolk CBNA JV, MCM Build USVI, Gage Edmonds for Senate, Shane Trucking, Christie's Real Estate, Liberty VI, One Communications, Church's Chicken, J. Benton Construction, Sea Glass Properties, Precision Auto Parts, Legacy Tires, Julian's Trucking, Phantomize, My Lord Variety Store, Rittenhouse Consultant, The Makeup Bar, Chitoli Services LLC, Haswick Insurance, It's a Vibe Promotion, SAB Construction, Caravel Hotel and Casino, The Flaming Grill, Violette's Boutique, Armstrong Ice Cream, Caribbean Coolin', James Family Florist and Funeral Home, Bay Trucking and Trash Removal, Jackie's Beauty Supply, and of course, your community station, 101.3 Roe FM WEI. We'll see you July 18th on St. Croix and July 25th on Thomas. At 101.3 Roe FM, we're proud to give back to our community one child at a time.
Street addressing initiative. Want you to think positive. Hurricane come true. Make it easier to find you. When the diamond tree brought down, ambulance going round and round. When your landmarks disappear, they say I would be right there. They say I about to unload. Check your neighbor and name your road. Name your road. My community, I'm begging you. That's all you got to do.
USVI Street Addressing Initiative, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Hey St. Croix, listen up! Your favorite spot, formerly known as Spicy Grill, is still turning up the heat as the Flaming Grill. Same flavors you love, now with more options. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. You can't miss it. We've got barbecue chicken, big back ribs, chops, lamb chops, ribeye, and New York steak. Plus, fresh grilled salmon, mahi-mahi, and shrimp. And don't sleep on those daily specials. Kanken butter sauce, rich oxtail, Tuesday roti, and so much more. Always cooked just right. Burger lovers, you're covered. Chicken, steak, salmon, dolphin, veggie burgers with fries, wraps, wings, salads, hot sides, the whole lineup. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. Call ahead 340-778-6270 and follow us on Facebook. Same roots, a whole new fire.
Greetings, Virgin Islanders. This is Tregenzo Roach.
And I'm Novell E. Francis Jr. For generations, Virgins have understood a simple truth. Change doesn't come from the top down. It comes from the bottom. It comes from us.
Now in these final days, you're going to hear a lot of campaign noise, a barrage of negative ads, attacks designed to distract you, to discourage you, to make you forget what's at stake.
Remember what this election is about. Selecting leadership that you can trust with your family's well-being and who will protect your children's future, not their own personal ambitions.
Early voting begins July 20th to July 29th. And on Saturday, August 1st, Novelli Francis Jr. and I ask that you please vote number 1 on your ballot. So make a plan to get to the polls, because when we show up, we win. Always serving you with purpose.
Now let's go vote.
Paid for by Roach Francis for Governor and Lieutenant Governor.
Hey hon, have you checked out Precision Auto Parts? They have everything you need for your car.
Is that the new auto parts store where cars only used to be by 5 corners?
Yes, they offer the widest variety of domestic and foreign parts. From oil to batteries, filters to lawnmowers and trimmer accessories, they have it all.
Wow, that's amazing. I heard they had the lowest prices in town too.
Absolutely. Plus, their customer service is top notch. They really know their stuff.
For all your automobile accessory needs, visit Precision Auto Parts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Call them today at 340-773-7276.
Precision Auto Parts, your one-stop shop for quality auto parts at unbeatable prices. Precision Auto Parts, for a smoother ride.
Fellow Virgin Islanders, this is your candidate for governor, Donna Fred Gregory. The Envision Tomorrow Hurricane Recovery Program has failed the people of the Virgin Islands. Over $60 million were provided to rebuild homes damaged by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. Yet nearly 9 years later, hundreds of families are still waiting for help. Many of our people are still living under tarps, and we are already in another hurricane season. This level of mismanagement and lack of accountability is unacceptable. Our people deserve better. Rodney and I will immediately get to work by auditing the disaster recovery program, cutting delays and ensuring families finally receive the assistance they've waited for years. Enough is enough. It's time for accountable leadership. It's time for results. This has been your candidate for governor, number 3 on your ballot, Donna Fred Gregory and Rodney Moorhead. On August 1, vote number 3.
Virgin Island people, they tell me they set and ready for this.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
As a veteran, I have extraordinary admiration and respect for those who dedicate their lives to public service to the communities and to our territory. At the same time, we must recognize that our politics, our government, and our institutions have too often failed us, the people, culminating in this moment of crisis. Healthcare, water, infrastructure, schools. As we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through different methods and different thinking, committed to our same values and principles, all while offering practical solutions as we manage our future for effective governance. I know Kurt Viele will fight fearlessly for our island and for this territory. He believes in the betterment of our people, fairness and dignity of all. Vote to re-elect Senator Kurt Viele to remain in the fight for all of us. Early voting takes place on July 20th to the 29th, and primary election is on August 1st. Vote number 5, Kurt Viele.
Paid for by friends of Kurt Viele to the Senate.
Thinking about a move here in the Virgin Islands? At Sea Glass Properties, we're proud island neighbors. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking for a rental, our local agents live here, know the island, and work for you every step from first showing to closing day. And we're proud to support the Roe FM Back to School Drive, giving students a strong start to the school year. Visit seaglassproperties.com or call 340-715-7772. That's Sea Glass Properties, your home in the Virgin Islands.
Are you tired of the same old auto insurance? Well, guess what?
You got options. Yes, we can insurance, we are the top one. Baby, it's easy, no problem. get a free go-round line now. You got options. Keswick Insurance, we are the top one.
Keswick has auto insurance for Virgin Islands living. Give us a call at 340-714-8100 or visit keswickinsurance.com.
Get a free go-round line now.
Vote number 3 for Congress. People want to know where you come from.
Terry Alanis.
I'm a born cushion.
Terry Alanis.
What I'm saying is true.
Terry Alanis.
I come from a bijou.
Terry Alanis.
I am very cool.
Terry Alanis.
Educating good folk school.
Terry Alanis.
I find that he can believe it or not.
Terry Alanis.
St. Anne Church in Barron's Party.
Terry Alanis.
This is some of my accomplishments.
Terry Alanis.
In black and white is proven.
Terry Alanis.
Got 1 billion for rum cover.
Terry Alanis.
97% Virgin Islander.
Terry Alanis.
And Captain Morgan Diageo.
Terry Alanis.
I want you all to know.
Terry Alanis. Terry Alanis. Terry Alanis.
Number 3 on the ballot.
Greetings, this is Janelle Casero, your candidate for delegate to Congress. For too long, the Virgin Islands has been treated as an afterthought. We pay more for food, more for shipping, more for electricity, and we continue to fight for the federal resources and representation every American citizen deserves. I'm running for Congress because our territory deserves a strong voice in Washington and someone who understands how federal policy affects everyday life here at home. My plan is simple: lower the cost of living, strengthen healthcare, protect our seniors, support our farmers and fishermen, and demand accountability from the federal government. The challenges are big, but so is our potential. Read the full platform at sorrowforcongress.com. I am Janelle Casero, your candidate for delegate to Congress and number 4 on the ballot.
From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan. Some showers and thunderstorms around through the morning, otherwise partly sunny skies. Today we'll get up to around 90. Partly cloudy, few more showers tonight, low in the upper 70s. Some showers Wednesday morning, a mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon, breezy. Highs will get up into the lower 90s. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy, a passing shower Wednesday night, low in the upper 70s. Another round of Saharan dust moves in for Thursday, hazy sunshine, breezy at times. Temperatures getting up into the lower 90s. Mostly sunny, hazy on Friday, breezy, maybe a stray shower or two in the morning, high near 90. Similar conditions on Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, another hazy day, little breezy at times, high right around 90. From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan.
That's right. Good morning. How everybody doing? We're back. Oh, yes, guys. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEBI, and Bush T in the morning. Good morning to everybody on the dial, everybody on the TuneIn app, is everybody on the live as well. Good morning, chat. How are you feeling today? All right, guys. So listen, let's get into our VI historical figure of the day because, listen, all week long, we're talking about Virgin Islands educators. Thank you to some input from some of our listeners who mentioned that they really, really like to hear about the accomplishments of a lot of our educators who our schools are named after. So I'm doing a little mini series here where that's all I'm covering. Now, we've done some of them before, right? But leading up to August 10th, when school actually begins, we're going to specifically be highlighting Virgin Islands educators, okay? So today is who we are. Lord, getting on the tight tongue right there. Today we're going to be featuring none other than Virgin Islands historical figure John H. Woodson. Okay, so Virgin Islands they remember him for his military service, survival during World War II, did you know? Public service and dedication to educating the children of St. Croix. All right, John H. Woodson served in the United States military during World War II and participated in the Battle of the Bugle, the massive German offensive fought through Belgium and Luxembourg during the winter of 1944 and 1945. During that battle, Woodson was reportedly left behind enemy lines and presumed dead. Okay, when I tell you these educators have some of the most interesting stories I've ever heard. Oh my goodness. He was listed as missing in action for almost 3 weeks before he managed to find his way back to American forces. The experience left a lasting emotional mark on his life, but he survived and returned home to serve his community. The Battle of the Bugle was one of the war's largest and most dangerous battles for American troops. Soldiers faced freezing temperatures, heavy snow, limited supplies, artillery fire, and rapidly changing front lines. Woodson's ability to survive behind enemy positions and return to his unit became an extraordinary part of his personal story. After his military service, Woodson returned to the Virgin Islands and began working with the Department of Health. His public service later took him into the public school systems, where he became an educator. His career reflected two forms of service: first as a soldier during a global conflict, and later as a community servant, helping to prepare a younger generation. As a teacher, Woodson brought more than academic knowledge into the classroom. He also carried experiences involving discipline, hardship, survival, public responsibility, and perseverance. Educators of his generation often served as mentors, disciplinarians, counselors, role models, and community leaders, as well as classroom instructors. His work took place during an important period in the development of Virgin Islands public education. Schools were expanding, local educators were taking on greater leadership, and communities were working to provide more structured educational opportunities for young people. Woodson became associated with the values of courage, public service, education, and commitment to community. Those contributions led to the territory to preserve his name through the John H. Woodson Junior High School here on the Big Island of St. Croix. For decades, the school educated thousands of Virgin Island students. Its warriors became part of the identity of St. Croix's public education. The generations of families came to know the Woodson name through classrooms, teachers, sports teams, promotions, performances, and community events. The school's final promotional class marked the end of an era in 2026 as the territory prepared to close the aging campus and relocate students under its broader school reconstruction and redistricting plans. Although the building's role is changing, the life and service represented by its name remain part of Virgin Islands history. John H. Woodson's story is also part of a wider tradition of Virgin Islanders who served the United States Armed Forces. Many returned home and continued serving through education, government, healthcare, law enforcement, business, and community organizations. His life reminds us that surviving war was not the end of his service. He came home and invested what remained of his life in his community. John H. Woodson's name represents courage in war, strength through hardship, public service, and dedicated to education. He survived being left behind enemy lines during the Battle of the Bugle, found his way back to American forces, returned home, and continued serving the people of Virgin Islands. All right. Even as the school system changes, John H. Woodson's legacy remains part of the history of St. Croix and the story of the Virgin Islanders who serve both abroad and at home. I think this gives a whole new meaning to the term warriors, and I got chills just talking about it. Oh my gosh. That's John H. Woodson. So those of you who attended the school, graduates, alumni, staff, everybody, listen, shout out to John H. Woodson Junior High School. And that's one of the schools I would love to see, refurbished sooner rather than later. And I pray they don't change the name, because my, oh my, what courage and resilience. This is why it's important for students to even know the names and the histories of the individuals their schools are named after. Imagine attending a school and you don't even know why, you should revere the name of the school. You have so much pride. And every school that I went to, I have a lot of pride for still, right? I've been out of school longer than I probably was in, right? so, and I still have so much pride for every school, as well as every educator that was able to touch my life and my path. So why not let's include these things in the curriculum and make it important every morning when we talk about it. We talk about the history, about who our school is named after. And what that does is it really invokes a sense of onus in these children to understand that they are a part of something much bigger than just a name on a building, So I love doing these with you guys. Thank you for making the suggestion. I have been enjoying it, and the more stories I learn about, the more background I learn about, the more I'm eager to come and share with you guys. So thank you so much. And I gotta say huge thank you to his family, his loved ones, his legacy, and everything that he left behind, as well as for his contributions to the greatness that is these Virgin Islands that we call home. All right, big cowbell energy for that. Oh yes. All right, so let's get into some community highlights. All right, so friends, colleagues, and career education advocates gathered to remember the late Nancy Powell Callwood on the 3rd anniversary of her death. A scholarship effort created in her honor continues supporting students pursuing vocational and technical education, preserving her commitment to ensuring that students have opportunities beyond the traditional 4-year college pathway. So shout out to that. That's the Career and Technical Education Scholarship for Nancy Powell Callwood. All right, now free community chess classes are available. Okay, Virgin Islands Chess Federation is offering an 8-week course free of charge to community members interested in learning the game. The classes provide children and adults with instruction in strategy, problem solving, patience, planning, and concentration. My personal opinion is really take advantage of it, because I wish I had really mastered the game when I had the chance. I did learn how to play, but there's so much about life that mimics this one game, especially in the avenues of business, entrepreneurship, leadership, and just being able to look at the bigger picture and the bigger scope of things versus just what is right in front of you. I would urge any parent who has the opportunity, the time, the resources to head down there to enroll your child. Give them that little boost in life, because strategy is a part of life. Strategy is not just for, sports, or when you're wanting to try something new in life. It's for every aspect of life: relationships, friendships, business ships, you name it, all the ships. Okay, I don't know why they don't play chess with ships instead, because I'm telling you, it's one of those things you just have to really learn along the way. And there's so many different ways to master the game, and for those who are really, really good, you never know, there's careers in playing chess as well too. So just expose them. I believe parenting is less about control and ownership, and it should be more about exposure. You using your opportunities to expose children to as much as possible, because that is what will shape their lives. All right, so that being said, take full advantage of this free opportunity, okay? That is the Community Chess Federation, okay? 8 weeks free of charge to learn the game. Go and check that out. Also, special needs caregivers share their experiences. The Virgin Islands Children's Museum hosted a listening session for parents, guardians, and caregivers and individuals with special needs. The session provided a supportive setting for families to discuss gaps in services, daily caregiving challenges, access to programs, and the types of resources they would like to see developed locally. We need that. Now, moving on, also, the Virgin Islands under-19 women's volleyball team began play at the Continental Championship in San Jose, Costa Rica. The young athletes are competing against regional teams while gaining international experience, exposure, and additional opportunities for athletic development. More in some sports news, the Virgin Islands Soccer Federation has expanded its official fan zone program through partnerships with Leatherback Brewing Company and the Island Green. The program began around World Cup viewing activities and is now being developed into a long-term initiative where soccer supporters can gather for matches and community events. All right, that was our community highlights for the day. All right, let's get into real news, what's happening along our shores. And listen, we got a lot to talk about because there is one particular story that is definitely running the airwaves as well as the headlines and algorithm right now as we speak. And it's one that it's a little heartbreaking for me per se, as well as I've seen some posts online where others share the same sentiments. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's really address the elephant in the room. Right now, federal government suspends new funding to the Housing Finance Authority. All right. The Trump administration and the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development has suspended additional disaster recovery funding to the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority while federal officials investigate the agency's financial management. Federal authorities cited widespread financial mismanagement, insufficient fraud controls, false certifications, improper payments, incomplete projects, and years of inadequate progress. The federal government also pointed to troubling audit findings and the criminal conviction of a former authority executive in a kickback case. The suspension threatens the flow of additional federal disaster recovery money through the authority, which oversees programs connected to housing construction, home repairs, community development, and rebuilding after Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The authority now faces closer federal review and may be required to provide financial records, contracts, projects updates, payment documentation, and corrective action plans. Existing projects may also be examined to determine how funds were spent and whether reported work was completed. Federal officials described agency's stewardship in unusually strong terms, alleging that years of assurances were not matched by sufficient delivery or accountability. All right. Governor Albert Bryan Jr. has responded to the federal suspension by saying the government will challenge the action and work to protect disaster recovery projections. The governor acknowledged serious concerns raised by federal officials, but argued that suspending the new funding could harm residents waiting for housing, repairs, community facilities, and infrastructure. He said the administration would seek to appeal the decision while also reviewing the allegations and identifying steps necessary to satisfy federal requirements. The government must now determine whether the authority can continue managing existing projects and what effect the suspension may have on contractors, homeowners, employers, developers, and communities waiting for long-promised improvements. Political candidates and other territorial officials have also reacted, calling for transparency, independent review, stronger oversight, and public disclosure of which projects and payments are under federal scrutiny. The dispute is expected to involve legal, financial, and administrative negotiations between territorial and federal officials. Listen, this is very disheartening to our community. One, especially at a time where we're already navigating so much as it loss, huge exoduses, and just the nature of our community itself and the temperament of our people, right? We're dealing with a lot of people that are feeling rather hopeless, and when these kinds of articles and stories start to come out, it just sheds light and it gives some transparency to what the real overall scope of things it actually is in comparison to what is being said regularly. Now, anybody can create word soup and give reassurances, but at the end of the day, when you're paying attention to what is actually in front of you, it can get very disheartening, especially when over and over again you're seeing people that have been entrusted with positions of power being accused of corruption, and then some are being what's the word? I want to say they're being arrested and charged with these cases as well too. So what is it going to be for our people? Because on one hand, we're telling people to come home, bring their talents, bring their expertise, bring their families, bring their businesses. And then on the other hand, we're seeing there's so many areas of deficit where it makes it seem like that may be a suicide case to come home. But on one hand, we need it. But on the other hand, are we in a position to accept those who have gone above and beyond to do better for themselves in other areas and communities, and then come back home and just sacrifice what they have worked so hard for already, to come home to something that is so unsure? I think we need to do a much better job of really creating the transparency that give people the ability to come back and assist in some way, shape, or form. But more on this story. Let's see how this one rolls out, because without this funding, a lot of our Virgin Islanders are going to be in even more crises and don't need more of that. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the one way that we can definitely make sure that we are standing in control of how our territory is ran is to make sure that we are voting. Okay, www.vivote.gov. I've been urging residents and community members to go out and register. You can't register right now, but what you can do is check your status. If you know you are one of those voters who you were registered, but you have been inactive for a number of years. If you are unsure, you can go on the website and you can check your status, www.vivote.gov. Yesterday started early voting. So for those who don't like lines and don't like the hoopla and the hoorah and all that good stuff, you can avoid the rush on August 1st and go out and do your early voting for the primary. Okay, it's super, super important. We need that. Calling out Democrats. Okay, so speaking of which, a total of 970 voters cast ballots on the very first day of early voting for the 2026 primary election. St. Croix recorded 509 voters, while 458 residents voted on St. Thomas. 3 ballots were cast on St. John, where the full early voting period begins later in the week. Early voting on St. Croix and St. Thomas continues daily through July 29th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. St. John's early voting period is scheduled from July 23rd through July 29th, with voting available from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Employers, please allow your, you could go on your free time as well too, but if they're asking for an opportunity to go out and cast their vote, I would hope that you guys will give them the opportunity to do so. Make it a priority, because this is how our community is ran. This is how businesses get, funding. This is how we have opportunities. This is how small businesses are able to get support. This is how our schools get support, our children get support, our nonprofits get support. So listen, these are the decisions that run our everyday lives, whether you know it or not. Long after your vote has already been casted, that decision stays in the balance, right? Depending on who wins, that individual gets to make, they get to sit in certain seats that allow decisions to be made. So whether we know it or not, no matter how you shrug your shoulders and throw your head or roll your eyes in the top of your head, you got to understand that these are the ways that our decisions are being made, okay? And these are the people that we give them the power and the pens in order to make these decisions, as well as whether it's in front of us or in the dark. Okay, so you got to make those decisions wisely, and let's not make these decisions based off of, oh well, I think this person would do a better job, or I think this person based on how they make me feel, or I like their family, or I like the way they speak, or I like how they dress, or I like the way they campaign, their flyers look professional. Those are none of the reasons why you should be voting for an individual. So I hope that we're not lazy voting and we're taking the time to actually make informed decisions. There's so much information out there and so easy to access by anyone. Long gone are the days where, oh well, if you miss it, too bad. No, everything has been recorded. You can go online. You can sit down and watch the debates after they have passed. You can see the interviews online. Most of the social media platforms as well as radio stations now have digital possibilities as well, where you can go back and review information. So please do so. Take a little bit of time. You could do so while you're in the shower, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're working. Put on your headphones. You could just listen to what some of these people have to say and make an informed decision. Okay, I urge for you to do that. Now, moving along, the Virgin Islands Board of Elections has voted to seek independent legal counsel in the federal lawsuit filed by delegate candidate Brett McLafferty. The emergency meeting followed advice from Attorney General Gordon Brea, who recommended that the board obtain separate representation. McLafferty is challenging the decision that removed him from the ballot, arguing that election officials disqualified his candidacy. A federal judge previously declined to immediately restore him to the ballot, but allowed the wider case to proceed toward an evidentiary hearing. Independent counsel will be expected to defend the board's actions, explain how candidate qualification laws were interpreted, and address whether election procedures were followed correctly. The case is moving forward while early voting is already underway, creating additional time pressure for the board and the candidate, election employees, as well as the court. All right. Now, police on St. Croix arrest a suspect after executing a search warrant and allegedly recovering a firearm. Search warrant investigations generally require officers to present information to a judge showing probable cause that evidence connected to a crime may be located at a particular place. During the operation, officers may collect firearms, ammunition, electronic devices, narcotics, documents, or other potential evidence. Investigators will examine the weapon to determine whether it was legally possessed, whether its identification information had been altered, and whether it may be connected to another crime. The accused person will have an opportunity to challenge the search, the possession allegations, and the government's evidence through the court process. All criminal charges remain allegations unless proven beyond a reasonable doubt. More in the news, a driver was arrested after police said the vehicle traveled in the wrong direction on a north side road. Wrong way driving creates an immediate risk of head-on collisions, particularly on winding roads, hills, blind curves, and narrow routes. Police may investigate whether alcohol, drugs, confusion, reckless behavior, poor signage, and another factor contributed to the incident. The driver could face charges on traffic citation based on the circumstances and any evidence gathered by responding officers. Authorities generally urge motorists to see a wrong-way vehicle not to attempt a confrontation. Drivers should reduce speed, move out of the vehicle's path where it is safe to do so, and contact emergency dispatchers with the location, direction of travel, vehicle description, and license plate information. Also, a woman was arrested on St. John after authorities investigated allegations that she damaged property belonging to a former acquaintance. Property damage cases may involve broken windows, doors, vehicles, furniture, electronics, household fixtures, and other personal belongings. Investigators may review photographs, repair estimates, surveillance footage, witness statements, communications between individuals, and any prior disputes. Depending on the value of the damage and the surrounding circumstances, possible charges can range from misdemeanor, property destruction, to more serious criminal offenses. The court, however, will determine whether the evidence supports the accusations. The defendant remains presumed innocent unless proven guilty. In more news, drought remains the most immediate weather concern for the Virgin Islands, even as meteorologists monitor a tropical depression in the northern Gulf region. The Gulf system does not pose a direct threat to the territory. Locally limited rainfall is placing continued pressure on vegetation, farms, cisterns, water supplies, livestock, and areas vulnerable to brush fires. Long periods of dry weather can affect farmers through reduced crop growth, greater irrigation costs, stressed fruit trees, lower pasture quality, and water shortages. For animals, as well as residents relying on citizens that may also need to conserve water or purchase deliveries more frequently. Officials continue encouraging residents to avoid outdoor burning, report fires quickly, repair leaking pipes, and use water carefully while dry conditions persist. All right, so be sure to utilize caution. We're still in the summer months, okay, and it's still very, very hot during the day. Hopefully things start to cool down soon. Now, researchers are studying whether sargassum can can be transformed from a coastal problem to a useful material for medicine, farming, manufacturing, or other industries. Now, there's a thought, right? Large sargassum arrivals can cover beaches, interfere with fishing and boating, tourism, and release unpleasant odor as the seaweed decomposes. The decaying material may also produce gases that irritate people with breathing problems. Scientists are examining whether collected sargassum can be processed into fertilizer, soil products, construction materials, biofuel, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, or other commercial products. Several challenges remain. Sargassum may absorb heavy metals or contain other contaminants, meaning researchers must determine whether proposed products are even safe. Collection and transportation are also expensive, and removing the seaweed improperly can damage beaches, wildlife habitats, and nesting areas for animals. Now, moving further, career and technical education supporters gathered to remember St. John educator Nancy Powell Callwood and recognize the scholarship initiative established in her honor, as we mentioned in our community highlights. Powell Callwood was remembered for promoting vocational education and encouraging students to consider career requiring technical skills, professional certification, apprenticeships, and hands-on training. Career and technical programs may prepare students for work in construction, electrical trades, plumbing, automotive repair, culinary arts, healthcare, information technology, hospitality, cosmetology, marine services, and other industries. The Memorial Scholarship helps to continue her belief that students should have multiple pathways into successful and productive careers. Friends and former colleagues mark the third anniversary her death, making the brief ceremony a productive one. So more on that and more stories, guys. We're going to take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tina Morning. Again, shout out to Miss Nancy Powell Callwood. I didn't want to say it wrong. Guys, we'll be right back. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tina Morning. Keep it locked.
Your gubernatorial candidate, Donna Fred Gregory. For too long, St. Croix has been overlooked. We've seen opportunities pass us by while waiting for investment, economic growth, and the attention the Big Island deserves. It's time to awaken the sleeping giant. St. Croix has the land, the talent, the port, and the potential to become an economic engine for the United States Virgin Islands. Rodney and I will position St. Croix as the transshipment hub of the Caribbean, develop the South Shore Zone, and bring back environmentally friendly manufacturing plants, which will drive investment and long-term growth. When St. Croix succeeds, the entire Virgin Islands wins. Rodney and I have a path forward. Enough is enough. On August 1st, vote Donna Fred Gregory and Rodney Moorhead, Governor and Lieutenant Governor, number 3 on your ballot.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
If your teen is struggling with stress, anxiety, or depression, there's no shame in that. None at all. Mental health is health, and just like you take them to the doctor for a sprained ankle, their emotional well-being matters just as much. Let them know that it's okay not to be okay, and that getting help is a sign of strength. Have you checked in with your teen today? A few minutes of your time each day can make all the difference. Find resources and start the conversation at doh.vi.gov/Gen Z.
It's time for the biggest back-to-school giveaway of the year. 101.3 Roe FM is giving away 1,000 free book bags and supplies to help our students head back to school prepared and ready for success. Join us Saturday, July 18th at the Barron Spot Village Mall on St. Croix and Saturday, July 25th at Emancipation Garden on St. Thomas. The fun kicks off at 12 noon and goes until 3 p.m. Kids receiving book bags will also enjoy free snow cones, face painting, haircut certificates, and so much more. And that's not all. Thanks to One Communications, we're giving away 5 iPhone 16 Pro Max devices and 5 MiFi devices. Plus, don't miss the Pass It Down uniform give back in collaboration with the Butterfly Effect, helping families prepare for the new school year. This community event is made possible by our generous sponsors: Office of the Governor, the VI Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation, the VI Department of Education, So Folk CBNA JV, MCM Build USVI, Gage Edmonds Force Senate, Shane Trucking, Christie's Real Estate, Liberty VI, One Communications, Church's Chicken, J. Benton Construction, Sea Glass Properties, Precision Auto Parts, Legacy Tires, Julian's Trucking, Phantomize, My Lord Variety Store, Rittenhouse Consultant, The Makeup Bar, Chitoli Services LLC, Haswick Insurance, It's a Vibe Promotion, SAB Construction, Caravel Hotel and Casino, The Flamin' Grill, Violette's Boutique, Armstrong Ice Cream, Caribbean Coolin', James Family Florist and Funeral Home, Bates Trucking and Trash Removal, Jackie Beauty Supply, and of course, your community station, 101.3 Roe FM WEVI. We'll see you July 18th on St. Croix and July 25th on St. Thomas, because at 101.3 Roe FM, we're proud to give back to our community one child at a time.
It's official, and the countdown is on for Daddy Jones' Filthy 3 annual birthday bash. On Saturday, July 25th at the Captain's Yard at Coral Sea, Daddy Jones and friends set to mash up the place. Performing live, Fire International, Pascal, Lorna Freeman, Shakima, Figgy, Impact Band, and the Energy God, Boomba. Hosted all by Big Man Pass and juggling by DJ Chubby and Lips International. Doors open at 9 p.m. and we ain't leaving till the last panak. Get your tickets at Armstrong's Ice Cream, Don't Pay Me No Mind, and Eventbrite. Saturday, July 25th at the Captain's Yard at Coral Sea. It's the Daddy Jones Filthy 3 annual birthday bash.
Are you looking for another source of income while earning an in-demand marketable trade that enhances your resume? If so, the Virgin Islands Air National Guard is the best-kept secret of the Air Force that provides you these opportunities and so much more. Take advantage of these amazing benefits while serving locally in your community 1 week in a month and 2 weeks a year. To learn more, contact your Virgin Islands Air National Guard recruiter at 340-277-8026.
Man, I need some concrete work done, but these prices out here are crazy.
Then you clearly haven't caught Chitoli Services LLC.
Chitoli? What they got different?
Different? They got the best prices in the entire Virgin Islands. Nobody beat them. Nobody.
Really? Even with concrete and pumping?
Everything. Concrete pump services, heavy equipment rental, even demolition. All at the lowest prices around.
Say less. I need that number.
Just call 340-332-9872 or 340-772-7000 today. Chitoli Services LLC. Built on strength, driven by service, and the best prices in the Virgin Islands.
Come tell me about popularity, cause if you flip the switch, you will find it never help our country. Tell me who brought plenty money, billions. I'm talking about Stacey, to vitalize and stimulate the economy. SOS, the Virgin Island is sinking, to stop the disaster, yes. We need a new captain, that's where Stacey Plaskett coming. Sail the ship. Sing. Oh, Stacey Plaskett, for our still and water. Oh, Stacey Plaskett, for our still and water. We build the Virgin Islands, to prosperity. We build design and serve.
Sponsored by Plaskett Potter for People.
The new 101.3 Roe FM. Hip-hop. The most hip-hop. WEVI. Frederick said. Christian said. St. Croix. Number one station in the world. I knew it. Alima Rose Station.
1 gig for $50 a month. And a 30-day money-back guarantee. Are you fiber kidding me? I'm in. Charles, take the mic. I have to go. Visit libertyvi.com/fiber and switch to Liberty True Fiber now.
The new 101.3 Roe FM.
Records.
They'll know we never had a bad gal. Put pressure on him, can't stop call. Say me know you obsessed, daddy. You back a real bad girl, I'm a little black dress, make a boy upset, daddy. God bless my man with a real bad, that's why them a vex me. I'm a cassette, could make a mad girl breathe, but the boy obsessed, so me give him the best of it. Bad things are going wrong here. Come spark to spliff, me rub up on your chest then. When you grab and type on neck, quick break one time, make you forget your ex them. Living going wrong here. Feeling tipsy, me ring up my friends them. From me name touchdown, one down, make we go link price, make you my meal flex them. Girl, no, never had a bad girl. We put pressure, no can't stop call. True love make bad man bad. Tell me now you obsessed, daddy. You back a real bad girl, I'm a little black dress, make a boy upset, daddy.
Hey, how we doing? How we doing?
That's why them a vex me.
Welcome back. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVIN, Bush Tina Morning. It's Tuesday. How are you doing today? It's a Taco Tuesday. What we eating? What we doing? Or is it? Let me find out. A tantalizing Tuesday. Talk to me, noise Tuesday. Too much sauce Tuesday. Ay, ay, ay. Either way, we're here. It's 101.3, and you already know it's your girl Neeks on the dial, as well as on the Facebook app and the TuneIn app as well too. I forget both of them is an app, you know. Oh man, listen me. This is Maya V, Daddy. Gotta say a huge shout out to Maya V because she is the official winner of the territory's latest lyrical challenge. Is the Bust Your F. I can't say the real thing. Bust Your F challenge. WEVI. Oh yeah, definitely. Listen, and she did that. She definitely came through with that. She is the winner officially. And who would have known that a lady would have took the throne? I mean, it's a time for ladies right now, you know, because the number one station in the territory, and listen, that's not our opinion. That is just, you know, one of them things. But the number one station, the new number one station in the territory is female ran. We got 2 women running for governor in the territory. And Maya V just come in with the all the cherry on top. And you heard me because I did not stutter. Hey, this is Stutter by Monet. I didn't. Hey. Put that in your pipe. To the chorus, make your body it is that. Listen, Monet mentioned that she's on a spiritual journey. And I am so happy for her because, listen, as women in entertainment, it is so overstimulating sometimes. So you really have to be grounded in your spirituality. You come in contact with so many different people. People just kind of just there, you know. They reach out to you for whatever different reasons, you know. You come in proximity to a lot of people. You get exposed to a lot. So you really have to be grounded. And that's what anybody in an entertainment space is. I'm telling you. The devil was known to be, and that's for our spiritual people, right? But the devil was known as the angel of music, you know. So what make you think this industry angels full of them? I didn't. Oh man, guys, so listen, let's get back into the news because we've been talking about what's going on along our shores, you know, the good, the bad, the in between, the nitty gritty. There's never a dull moment, is there? Every time you wake up, It's always something. So let's get into it because we got good and bad news to share still. Now, career and technical education supporters gathered to remember St. John educator Nancy my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I just picked up where I left off. Didn't I? But listen, let's get into it. I got some more stories for you. The Virgin Islands under 19 women volleyball team has begun competing at the Continental Championship in Costa Rica. Oh, yes. All right. So more on this story. You mentioned them briefly in our community highlights already for the morning. So let's get into it in depth. The Virgin Islands was placed in a group with Mexico and Puerto Rico. The tournament also included teams from the United States, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Canada, Jamaica, and host country Costa Rica, of course. Regional tournaments give young players experience against different playing styles, stronger serving, faster attacks, larger blockers, and more demanding defensive systems. The competition also gives coaches an opportunity to evaluate the territory's players' development system and identify areas requiring additional training. Athletes may gain exposure to colleges, national federations, and future international competitions. And we like that. And we like that. Now, speaking of which, the Virgin Islands Soccer Federation has developed long-term fan zone partnerships with Leatherback Brewing Company and the Island Green. The initiative grew out of public viewing events created during the FIFA World Cup. Federation officials now plan to continue using the venues at gathering places where supporters can watch matches and participate in soccer-related activities. The fan zones may also help to introduce residents to local soccer programs, youth teams, international competitions, and opportunities to support Virgin Islands players. Organizers say the partnerships are intended to bring soccer supporters together beyond a single tournament and build a stronger year-round culture around the sport. Oh, yes. So definitely a shout out to them because y'all are making heavy waves along our shores, okay? Oh, yes, we're definitely proud of you. We support you fully. I wish there were more pages, like a centered page around just VI Sports. And if there is one already, forgive me for not knowing about it. But I really wish there was, so that we can see all the stats and the highlights, name players by name. I remember growing up, a lot of players used to look forward to seeing their names in the newspapers and stuff. We don't necessarily have all the publications we used to have before. So it's easy for things to get lost in the crosshairs. But we have social media, and that seems to be trumping when it comes to getting the information across, right? As well as here on the dial, right? But that being said, there needs to be some areas where we can really highlight our youth and their players, not just when they get international recognition, but while they're striving for such here. We got to be able to highlight our star players right here on our soil before others identify them for us. Okay, and that's not just for those who are into the sports. Everybody. That's what our VI pride is, okay? And these are our ambassadors, much like our constituents who are artists and producers, engineers, and otherwise Grammy Award winners and songwriters and all this good stuff. Listen, we really got to do a better deal of how we support our ambassadors, okay? Now, moving forward, some native flowers in the Virgin Islands attract bees, butterflies, and other pollinating insects without providing nectar or another food reward. The plants use bright colors, shapes, scents, and markings that resemble rewarding flowers. Pollinators approach and make contact with the plant, transferring pollen, even though they leave without receiving the nectar they expected. This type of biological deception is found in several plant species and demonstrates the highly specialized relationships that can be developed between local plants and insects. The behavior also highlights the ecological value of native vegetation. Removing local plants can affect insects, birds, soil stability, water retention, and the wider food web. All right, so, and that's all because native Virgin Islands flowers use deceptive pollination strategies. Imagine that. Who would have thought? The plants I'm laying? Everybody lying these days. What is going on? Oh, man. All right, so let's go on because there's a 3-night journalist-led debate series is continuing as Virgin Islands voters begin casting primary election ballots. The series concludes separate sessions for candidates seeking lieutenant governor, and delegate to Congress. Moderators are questioning candidates about government performance, education, healthcare, banking, disaster recovery, crime, public integrity, economic development, and the powers of the offices they are seeking. The debates are designed to require candidates to explain specific proposals rather than relying only on campaign slogans, and prepared speeches. Recordings are being made available for residents who cannot watch the sessions live. As I mentioned earlier, the series is taking place while early voting continues and ahead of the August 1st primary election. So guys, again, go out and get the information because you have to make an informed vote. You can't just be voting for voting's sake. Yes, we want you to vote. We don't want you to vote in the wrong way or just to vote with emotion because, hey, that doesn't do us any good either. Right? Now, that being said, we're going to talk about the debates that took place last night, and they have been coming one behind the next. Yes, it's been difficult to keep up with them, but listen, we got to make sure we do that. Work with that. You need that. Okay? Especially as so many are heading to the polls. And I want to say a huge congratulations to everybody that went out and did their early voting already. Congrats to you. Proud of you. All right, so let's go and head on out to those polls. Let's get this primary election on the wraps. We need to see record numbers, especially from you, our young people. If you are 18 and you are unsure, listen, there should be a site where people could just go and have these debates for themselves and talk about who they feel is the right choice. You've seen it on the social media all the time, blah, 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 blah. But of course, you know, the best parts of the meal get lost in the sauce. So you got to make sure that you go and check out these debates. Okay, we're gonna go over what went on in debate last night, and so I got some bullet points that we're gonna talk about briefly. Okay, that and more while we get into our 9 o'clock hour of the show right here on 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tea Morning. We're gonna cut to a brief commercial break. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Well, look who it is. It's the Roe FM with all the big tune. You're listening to Roe FM, WeVI.
Look! 1 gig upload, 1 gig download. Perfection! I'm downloading a video on how to upload videos while uploading a video on how to download them. All at the same time. Symmetrical. Beautiful. 1 gig for $15 a month. Switch to Liberty True Fiber now. Visit libertyvi.com/fiber.
Good day, Virgin Islanders. This is Stacey Plaskett. Early voting has begun. For months, Milton Potter and I have listened to what you are living through, enduring. You're tired of outages, tired of schools in disrepair, tired of delayed projects, tired of hearing that money has been secured while daily life still feels too hard. We hear you. I have spent years fighting to bring home the resources to meet those needs. More than $24 billion for recovery and rebuilding. Major support for our hospitals and schools. I carried your fight to Washington. Now I'm asking for your help to carry this campaign across the finish line. Federal resources do not turn into finished projects by themselves. A delegate can fight for the money. A governor must make sure the project moves, departments perform, the work is completed, and the people feel the difference. That is the responsibility Milton and I are asking you to entrust to us. No future can change unless people show up and choose it. Vote early. Take your family, call your friends, check on senior who may need a ride. You gave Milton and me the strength to fight for the resources. Now give us the authority to put them to work. On August 1st, vote for the power of two. Stacey Plaskett and Milton Potter.
Sponsored by Plaskett Potter for People.
Greetings. This is Janelle Casero, your candidate for delegate to Congress and number 4 on your ballot. Congress negotiated prescription drug prices to lower costs for Medicare beneficiaries nationwide. That's a goal we can all support. But once again, the territories were largely left out of the conversation. The Virgin Islands has a unique healthcare system, a limited number of pharmacies, higher shipping costs, and fewer healthcare providers than any state. Yet Congress moved forward without fully evaluating how these changes could affect access to medications right here at home. As your delegate to Congress, I will fight to ensure that federal healthcare reforms work for the Virgin Islands, not against us. Because before policies are passed in Washington, the Virgin Islands deserves a seat at the table and a voice in the discussion. I am Janelle Casero, number 4 on your ballot.
It's official, and the countdown is on for Daddy Jones' Filthy 3 annual birthday bash. On Saturday, July 25th at the Captain's Yard at Coral Sea, Daddy Jones and friends set to mash up the place, performing live Fire International, Pascal, Lorna Freeman, Shakima, Figgy, Impact Band, and the Energy Girl, Boomba. Hosted all by Big Man Pass and juggling by DJ Chubby and Lips International. Doors open at 9 p.m. and we ain't leaving till the last panak. Get your tickets at Armstrong's Ice Cream, Don't Pay Me No Mind, and Eventbrite. Saturday, July 25th at the Captain's Yard at Coral Sea. It's the Daddy Jones Filthy 3 annual birthday bash.
Every election season, we have a callaloo going on. But do you know that every voter is an essential ingredient in this callaloo recipe? Like a good pot of callaloo, in order for us to have a healthy democracy, voting is the most powerful and peaceful way to make things happen in our community. Our future depends on what we do today to make that pot of callaloo better. Our generation faces so many challenges. I hope that you will join me for early voting on July 20th through 29th at the Sunny Isles Board of Elections office from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Every election is important. Be a voter. I will show up to vote to keep my promise that I will elect leaders who will build a better territory for all of us. I will vote for Kurt VLA, number 5 on the ballot. I love voting the same way I love a good pot of callaloo. Go out and vote. Vote Kurt VLA, number 5 on the ballot.
Paid for by Friends of Kurt VLA to the Senate.
In a world where the big K is gone, one name stands alone with 3 locations ready to fill the void. Super Dollar.
This is how it should be done.
Super Dollar is St. Croix's #1 department store with aisles fully stocked with everything you need. Home appliances, car accessories, clothing, toys, electronics, and much, much more. Just visit one of our 3 locations in Princess, Sunny Island, Frederickstead, and see why Virgin Islanders shop at Super Dollar. Department store quality, dollar store prices.
Virgin Islands, it's time! Time to make your voice heard. Time to make your vote count. Get out and vote. Mark your calendars. Early voting for the 2026 primary election runs July 20th through July 29th for St. Thomas and St. Croix, and July 23rd through July 29th on St. John. Voting hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily on St. Thomas and St. Croix, and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily on St. John. Voting is easy, convenient, and transparent. Voters in the St. Thomas St. John district may vote at either voting center. On St. Thomas, vote in Election Systems Office located at Lockhart Gardens above Banco Popular. On St. John, vote at the Election Systems Office located at the Marketplace, 3rd floor, Suite 2. On St. Croix, vote at the Election Systems Office located at Sunny Isles Shopping Center, Unit 26. Whether you vote early or on Election Day, your vote matters. Get out and vote. Every vote
Brought to you by the election system of the Virgin Islands. Now remember, one vote makes a difference.
We hear the Francis team talking about honesty and integrity, but those values are proven through actions, not words. Honesty and integrity are demonstrated when no one is watching. When Donna Fred Gregory served as president of the legislature, she launched an independent audit of the legislature's finances to review contracts, strengthen internal controls, and ensure taxpayer dollars were being spent responsibly. But when Novell Francis Jr. became Senate President, he canceled that audit before it was completed. So the question is simple. Why stop an independent review of public funds? What was there to fear? Honesty and integrity aren't campaign slogans. It's about doing what's right, even when it's difficult. On August 1st, make your vote count. Choose number 3 for Donna Fred Gregory for governor, and Rodney Moorhead for Lieutenant Governor. Choose transparency. Choose accountability. Choose results.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
Public safety has always been my top priority, and that includes keeping our roads and neighborhoods safe. As a former career law enforcement officer, I know firsthand the dangers caused by reckless driving and illegal, uninsured, and unregistered vehicles on our roadways. That's why I introduced and passed legislation to strengthen traffic penalties and hold dangerous drivers accountable. More than 13 years, traffic fines had not been updated and were no longer serving as an effective deterrent. My legislation also established secure police impound lots to help remove unauthorized vehicles from our streets, many of which are often linked to criminal activity. And these fines don't just improve safety, they also help fund youth crime prevention programs like the Police Athletic League and the Rising Stars Steel Orchestra, while supporting law enforcement training, equipment, and operations. This is your Democratic Senator, Kenneth Kenny Gittens, asking for your continued support so I can keep fighting for safer roads, stronger communities, and a safer Virgin Islands for all of us.
Paid for by the support
Christie's International Real Estate St. Croix is a proud sponsor of our 3rd annual Back to School Drive and Giveaway. At Christie's International Real Estate, we're passionate about more than just real estate. We're passionate about our community. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, searching for your dream island home, or looking for expert vacation rentals and property management services, our experienced team is here to help every step of the way. Join us as we help students start the school year strong with backpacks, school supplies, and plenty of community spirit. From beachfront estates and condos to investment properties and vacation rentals, Christie's International Real Estate St. Croix is your trusted island real estate resource. Christie's International Real Estate St. Croix, connecting people to property and giving back to the community we love.
From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan. Some showers and thunderstorms are out through the morning, otherwise partly sunny skies today. We'll get up to around 90. Partly cloudy, few more showers tonight, low in the upper 70s. Some showers Wednesday morning, a mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon, breezy. Highs will get up into the lower 90s. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy, a passing shower Wednesday night, low in the upper 70s. Another round of Saharan dust moves in for Thursday, hazy sunshine, breezy at times. Temperatures getting up into the lower 90s. Mostly sunny, hazy on Friday, breezy, maybe a stray shower or two in the morning, high near 90. Similar conditions on Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, another hazy day, little breezy at times, high right around 90. From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Scott Kaplan.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the speakers, commentators, and experts and or hosts. They do not necessarily reflect or represent the views held by the broadcaster. The broadcaster cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program. 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI.
Believe, na oh, oh. Wake up in the morning and I sip bush tea. Yeah, this Cruciano, and you're listening to the one and only Nix and Bush Tea in the Man and 101.3 Roe FM. Say believe. Cruciano, baby, I only there for the weekend.
Hey, we're back. Good morning. 22 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. This is I Only Here for the Weekend featuring Cristiano from right here on the Big Island. Much love, Dada. Hey. Well, guys, listen, we get right back into the meaty and the nitty-gritty of the morning. And I have a special Kala who is on the air. Kala, good morning.
Morning.
Oh, yes.
So,
talk to me.
Your boy, Shamari. I got a little voice up.
You can hear me? Hello? I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. We had a little dead air for a little minute there.
I know it is.
Yes. Talk to me.
I just want to just briefly shout out everybody who have early voted so far. Almost almost 1,000 people early voted yesterday, with St. Croix in the lead. So I mean, it's a good feeling. It's a very energized feeling. I'm asking people not to forget about Mojana and Christopher, who are on the ballot for the board of education. Folks are reaching out to me, inquiring about what my name is. That I just wanted to also briefly remind an audience that my name won't be on this ballot for the primary election. It will be on the ballot for the general election, because I am running uncontested in the primary election. I'm the only Democrat running for the board of election. So I immediately or automatically advance over to the general election. So I still need the support of the people for the November general election. But it's just a good feeling to see some movement. I know we have a great cloud over the territory right now with this hot stuff that's happening. But please use us as the opportunity to fuel you to get up, go out and vote. Make sure that you guys are well researched. We have the conversation all the time. And our show on Tuesday, the 340 exchange, and then when we're in the studio with Unix. But thank you so much for also pushing the message and also encouraging, everybody. So, good things are happening, but I just wanted to briefly call in, big up the people that have already exercised their civic right, the civic duty, and encourage other folks to do so. WTJX debate yesterday, gubernatorial debate aired last night, and I know a lot of folks are waiting for that to decide who they're going to vote for. It was a very good debate. If you guys missed it, WTJX is supposed to run it back 2 more times, I think this Sunday, and then sometime next week, if I'm not mistaken. I think the 28th or the 29th. But nonetheless, definitely, get engaged, be a part of the process, and don't forget to give my boys, Mojanaya, Mo Dennis, and Christopher Jacob Jr. the opportunity to serve on the board of education.
Hey, shout out to you as well, Shamari. And I love that you shouted out everybody that went out to vote, because we've definitely been pushing for more young people to be involved. And you kind of seeing the conversations flying back and forth online, but we want to see it come off the line and get in the polls to make sure that, where it really, really counts and where it matters is where the energy is going. So thank you for calling in, and, come up with your positive energy. How do you bullshit this morning?
I have my bush tea yet, but I am on vacation, effective today until next week. My birthday is actually tomorrow, so I lay in low. Switching forecast slightly. I need to do some things for Kinky Sophisticated, so I'm taking this downtime to prepare for the season.
Yes.
But I'm definitely still very much engaged, so taking a break from the work to do some work.
That's right. I know how that is, for sure. But shout out, Shamari. You're doing it big. And thank you again for calling in. You already know it's always love from one here at 101.3 Roe FM and Bush Tea in the morning.
Thank you very much. And thank you for keeping folks engaged. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I give up on every other radio station, and I always come here, you know what I mean? Every morning.
Shamari.
Even though Bush Tea, I know where to come, guys.
You believe it? You're going to make them people vex with me. You got to stop saying.
Love alone. It's good to have women in radio. It's yes, but it's good to have women in radio. So
dang. Thank you so much. Always a blessing talking to you. Later. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shamari Haynes just calling in to share some love and some positivity. Gotta say a huge thank you to you for that. Always. Oh man. Oh, yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk briefly about what actually took place in the debates also. I know that's a big topic of right now, so I have a brief summary for those of you who did not get an opportunity to listen. I know a lot of people are asking for information, or maybe you missed it, maybe you fell asleep early like I did, but I still got to catch it regardless. Right? So it's very important, because this is people are making their informed decisions about who they want to vote for in the territory. We have so many young people that are engaged and super amped up, and even online you see someone saying, I'm ready to vote, I'm going to register, but I don't know who to vote for and I don't want to make the wrong decision. And that is very responsible of you to even be that forward thinking, because anybody could go in and bubble in a number, right? Anybody could press a button like celeb, right? However, we want to make sure that we're doing it with the most information available as possible. And with technology, we're utilizing all of our resources. And if you don't know, listen to me, listen to me good. If you are unsure and you really want just the basis of the information and you don't know exactly where to get it from, you can go online and you can even Google or even look your own summary as well as to what took place. You missed it and you just want a brief rundown as to the details here and there, what happened, social media, AI, chat GPT, all of these things that are available to you, Gemini, all of these things, you can get little brief summaries of what took place even if you missed it, and you can get it from multiple platforms as well. So please make sure that you're utilizing that. That being said, I do have a few stories that I want to share with you guys, two to be exact, that are very important. I don't want to leave today without sharing that with you guys. Good morning, Diga Joseph. I see you. All right. So, morning, Big Girl. All right. So, guys, a St. Thomas man has been charged after police recovered a Toyota RAV4 that had previously been reported stolen. The accused reportedly told investigators that he purchased the vehicle for approximately $2,500. However, authorities said he could not provide a bill of sale, title, registration, transfer, or other documentation demonstrating that the transaction was legitimate. Police are now examining how the vehicle came into his possession, who originally sold or transported it to him, and whether he knew or should have known that it had been stolen. A vehicle offered for a price substantially below its ordinary market value may raise questions for investigators, particularly when the seller cannot provide valid ownership papers. Buyers are generally expected to verify the vehicle identification number, inspect the title, confirm the seller's identity, and complete the required registration process. Investigators may review messages, calls, payment records, surveillance footage, witness statements, license plate information, and any communication between the buyer and the person who allegedly sold the vehicle. The recovered utility vehicle may also be examined for fingerprints, personal property, altered identification numbers, or evidence linking it to other criminal activity. The charges remain allegations. The defendant would have an opportunity to explain the transaction, challenge the government's evidence, and present a defense in court. All right, now, that being said, the Virgin Islands legislature is convening in special session to consider proposed legislation connected to the territory's horse racing industry. The special session is scheduled to take place at the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall on St. Thomas. Lawmakers are expected to review the administration's proposal, hear testimony, question government representatives, and determine whether the measure should be approved, amended, held for further work, or rejected. Horse racing has long been part of the cultural and sport identity of the Virgin Islands, particularly on St. Croix. However, efforts to restore and regulate the industry have been affected by legal disputes, damaged facilities, licensing questions, funding challenges, and the disagreements over control of racing operations. Any new legislation may need to address racetrack ownership, management agreements, regulation, purse money, betting, horse safety, veterinary standards, employment, government oversight, and the responsibilities of private operators. Lawmakers may also question how much money, or public money we should say, would be required, whether the proposed structure can become financially sustainable, and how the government will prevent another extended delay. A special legislative session allows the governor to place a specific matter before senators outside the ordinary committee calendar. The measure must still receive sufficient legislation support before it can move forward. All right. So that being said, yes. All right. We spoke about a lot this morning, and I want to get into this debate, right, as well as the details of what each candidate had to say to some degree. I do have a summary, as well as the responses from each of the candidates. The good thing is, for the most part, it seemed to be very respectful, okay, in nature. So I'm grateful for that, because these candidacies can get a little sticky icky, but the overall tone wasn't really highly, it was more substantive and policy focused rather than highly personal, to say the least. So that's what I will say about that. There were some moments of sharp disagreement, particularly over responsibility for the territory's current challenges, right? The candidates generally remained respectful while drawing clear distinctions between their leadership styles. So the dominant themes throughout the evening were government accountability, disaster recovery, recovery, affordable health care, reliable electricity, housing, economic growth, education, public safety, and whether Virgin Islanders should choose continuity, federal experience, or a management-centered approach as the territory prepares to elect its new governor. So let's get into it. All right. Now, last night, voters across the territory had the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates seeking to become the next governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands during a televised debate. Rather than focusing on campaign slogans, moderators spent much of the evening asking candidates to explain exactly how they would address some of the territory's biggest challenges, including healthcare, housing, education, WAPA, public safety, disaster recovery, and government accountability. The candidates participating in the debate were Delegate Stacey Plaskett, Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach, and former Senator Donna Fred Gregory. Throughout the evening, the moderators frequently asked follow-up questions whenever a candidate avoided directly answering a question, creating a debate that focused heavily on policy rather than politics. Now, opening statements. Each candidate began by explaining why they believe they were the best person to lead the territory over the next 4 years. Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach emphasized that his years of public service and his experience inside the Bryan administration. He argued that governing the Virgin Islands requires experience and continuity, saying many of the projects currently underway, including disaster recovery and infrastructure improvements, need consistent leadership to reach completion. While acknowledging that residents remain frustrated with some government services, Roach maintained that progress has been made and should continue. Delegate Stacey Plaskett focused her opening remarks on leadership, accountability, and results. She argued that although billions of federal dollars have become available since Hurricanes Irma and Maria, too many Virgin Islanders continue waiting for better schools, more affordable housing, reliable electricity, and improved health care. She said government must move projects from planning into completion more effectively. Former Senator Donna Fred Gregory introduced herself as the candidate focused on management and execution. She repeatedly stated that government should not be judged, or it should be judged not by promises or announcements, but by measurable results. Throughout the evening, she returned to themes of accountability, transparency, budgeting, and completing projects on schedule. As of health care, it quickly became one of the evening's most detailed discussions. Candidates were asked how they would improve healthcare services throughout the territory, particularly with continuing staffing shortages, aging facilities, and residents who must travel off-island for specialized medical care. Stacey Plaskett emphasized building stronger partnerships with the federal government and expanding access to specialty care. She argued that the Virgin Islands should make greater use of federal resources to strengthen hospitals, recruit physicians, and improve healthcare infrastructure. Lieutenant Governor Roach defended the work already underway while acknowledging that healthcare remains one of the government's biggest challenges. He stressed that ongoing improvements should continue without constant changes in direction each time new administration is office. Donna Fred Gregory approached the issue from a management perspective. She argued that obtaining additional funding alone will not solve healthcare problems unless government also improves budgeting, oversight, procurement, and project management. She said better execution is just as important as additional resources. As far, not surprisingly, electricity became one of the biggest topics of the night. Also, residents continued expressing frustration over outages, high utility bills, aging infrastructure, and uncertainty around the Water and Power Authority. Stacey Plaskett questioned why residents are still experiencing frequent service interruptions despite years of federal funding becoming available for rebuilding. Roach responded that rebuilding an aging utility system takes time. He defended the modernization efforts currently underway and argued that major infrastructure projects cannot be completed overnight. Donna Fred Gregory focused on operational accountability. She said WAPA should operate with clearer performance standards, measurable goals, and greater transparency so that residents can better understand what progress is actually being made. Although their approaches differed, all three candidates agreed that Virgin Islanders deserve a more reliable electrical system. Housing generated yet another lengthy discussion. Nearly 9 years after Hurricane Irma and Maria, many families are still waiting for repairs, permanent housing, and completed rebuild projects. Plaskett argued that federal resources exist, but government has not converted those resources into completed projects quickly enough. Roach pointed to the complexity of federal disaster recovery, explaining that environmental reviews, procurement requirements, engineering approvals, and federal oversight often create delays beyond local control. Fred Gregory argued that disaster recovery has been too slow, but emphasized that stronger project management and improved accountability are essential if rebuilding is going to accelerate. Education was another major focus of the debate. Candidates discussed school reconstruction, workforce development, and preparing students for careers beyond graduation. Roach highlighted continuing investments in rebuilding schools and expanding educational opportunities throughout the territory. Plaskett about preparing students for the future by strengthening partnerships with colleagues, workforce training programs, and federal agencies. Fred Gregory emphasized additional educational accountability, arguing that success should be measured by student outcomes rather than simply how much money is spent. Candidates also addressed crime, police staffing shortages, and public safety. Each agreed that law enforcement agencies required additional support. Discussions included recruiting more police officers, strengthening community policing, improving youth programs, and increasing cooperation among government agencies. None of the candidates suggested that policing alone would solve crime. Instead, all agreed that crime is connected to education, employment opportunities, family stability, and economic conditions. One of the clearest differences among the candidates appeared during discussions about government management. Don Gregory consistently emphasized efficiency, accountability, and measurable performance. She argued that government should function more like a well-managed organization with clear goals, deadlines, and public accountability. Stacey Plaskett focused on leadership and using her experience in Washington to secure additional federal resources while improving government performance at home. Lieutenant Governor Roach emphasized continuity, arguing that experience within government provides an advantage when overseeing complex infrastructure and recovery projects. Several exchanges stood out throughout the debate. One recurring theme involved responsibility for the territory's current condition. Oh, yes. Let me tell you something. And that's one of the things that I think all of us can agree on to some degree, right? The condition of our territory currently is one of the things that we're really looking at overall, right? Addressing crime, staffing shortages, and public safety as well. Hold on. So Donna Fred Gregory consistently emphasized efficiency, accountability, and measurable performance. She argued that government should function more like a well-managed organization with clear goals, deadlines, and public accountability. Stacey Plaskett focused on leadership and her experience in Washington to secure additional federal resources while improving government performances at home. All right. And Lieutenant Governor Roach emphasized continuity, arguing that experience within government provides an advantage when overseeing complex infrastructure and recovery projects. Now, Plaskett repeatedly questioned why residents have not experienced greater improvements despite years of available federal funding. Roach defended the Bryan administration's record while acknowledging that many residents remain dissatisfied with the pace of progress. Fred Gregory frequently directed discussions toward management, saying Virgin Islanders are less interested in hearing explanations. They are in completed project and measurable results. Another notable aspect of the debate was the moderator's persistence. When candidates drifted away from the questions or returned to prepared talking points, moderators often interrupted to ask follow-up questions, requesting more direct answers and specific implementation plans. During their closing remarks, each candidate summarized why they believe they should become the next governor of the Virgin Islands. Roach emphasized experience, continuity, and completing the work already underway. Plaskett urged voters to choose leadership that she believes can deliver stronger results and better utilize federal relationships to improve life throughout the territory. Fred Gregory asked voters to support a management-centered approach focused on accountability, transparency, fiscal responsibility, and delivering measurable outcomes. As early voting continues across the territory, last night's debate provided voters with an opportunity to compare the candidates side by side, not only on their ideas, but on their leadership styles, their priorities, and how they aim to move Virgin Islands forward. Whether voters were looking for continuity, new leadership, or a stronger focus on management, the debate offered a clearer picture of each candidate's vision for the future of the territory. And that's your complete recap of last night's gubernatorial debate right here on Bush Tea in the Morning. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed delivering it. So, that being said, go on out, get into the early voting, make sure that you are getting your voice heard. Do not make emotional decisions. Be sure to make informed decisions, right? Informed versus emotional. Definitely. We want to do that. And remember, the things that we have done before have not necessarily worked for us. If we want different, we got to do different. So let's do different right now and tell somebody to do the right thing, right? If you hear people saying, oh, it don't make sense to vote because no, you are a part of the problem. It does make sense to vote. It always makes sense to vote who you vote for, but it takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of digging to make sure that you're getting the information necessary. You can make an informed decision and not one just based off of how somebody dresses or what they drive or who you know them from or how well they make you feel when you see them and they give you a hug, or they had buy you a pate this one time, or they had the best fish fry, and none of those are reasons why we should vote for somebody. But definitely get your voice heard and head to those polls. With St. Croix in the lead right now with early voting. Let's keep it up, Big Island. I see you. St. Thomas, let's get that engine running and seeing. Well, you definitely ain't too far behind St. Thomas, so we can't say that, right? But let's see how St. John enters the race as well, too, as they start their early voting later on this week. Shout out to everybody that went to the polls. We want to see more of that. I myself is heading there today. I'm telling you, okay? So, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very difficult decision and a trying time in our historic Virgin Islands, but nobody coming to save we. And remember, it's not UVI, it's not me VI, it's we VI. So make sure that you're doing your part, all right? And speaking of we VI, I want to remind you guys this weekend, this Saturday, Roe FM is going to be on the rock, all right? Making sure that we pass out these book bags to all of the children in St. Thomas that are in need right now of supplies and backpack. And listen, just because you come to a book bag, a back to school giveaway does not mean that you're somebody who is in need per se, like you're lacking. It's not that's not what we're looking for. It's our way of giving back and making it an easier transition into each and every school year, and it's for everyone. Okay, so come on out and enjoy the festivities. Remember, we have free snow cones, face painting, popcorn, and for the kids that are receiving book bags, as well as free haircut certificates. We got 5 iPhone 16 Pro Maxes that we're going to be raffling, as well as 5 MiFi devices courtesy of One Communication. So be sure to come on out, St. Thomas. We're going to be at Emancipation Garden from 12 a.m. to p.m. All right, it was a hit right over here on the Big Island, and we're definitely looking forward to it. So look for the balloons, because we're going to be there, so don't be square, all right? Right there in Emancipation Garden, same place like we did last year. You can listen for my voice, because I'm going to be on the mic one time for the one time. We're going to have DJs playing music. I got to say a huge shout out to Lips International and DJ, because they always pull through for us. You already know. All right, huge shout out to the entire team and squad, because, guys, ladies, we can't make this happen without you. And again, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, Office of the Governor, VI Department, Sports, Parks and Recreation, VI Department of Education, Suffolk CBNA JV, MCM Build, USVI, Gage Edmonds for Senate, Shane Trucking, Christie's Real Estate, Liberty VI, One Communications, Church's Chicken, J. Benton Construction, Sea Glass Properties, Precision Auto Parts, Legacy Tires, Julian's Trucking, Phantom Eyes, My Lad Variety Store, Rittenhouse Consulting, The Makeup Bar, Totally Services LLC, Keswick Insurance, It's a Vibe Promotions, SAB Construction, Caravel Hotel and Casino, The Flaming Grill, Violet's, Armstrong Ice Cream, Caribbean Cooling, James Funeral Home, Bates Trucking and Trash Removal, Jackie's Beauty Supply Store, and all of us right here at 101.3 Roe FM WEVI. Also got to say a huge thank you to our sponsors for the show, My Love Variety Store and Smoke Shop right there in the Barron Spot Shopping Center. All right, that's where we had our back to school giveaway this past Saturday. Give them a call or go check them out. Remember, you can play Caribbean Lottery. They got scratch offs, Powerball, Pick 3, Pick 4, Payday, and so much more. And it is a variety store before it is a smoke shop. So make sure you know that, okay? Everybody associated, oh, that's a smoke shop, that's a smoke shop. No. It's a variety store, and true variety indeed. You get you something nice, cold to drink. You can get your body butters. You can get your incense, your oils. You know, they have the largest arrays of rolling papers and CBD and products. Also have certain household essentials. Okay, so if you live in the area, you don't want to go far, you can head right there to My Lord Variety Store and Smoke Shop, because they have certain little good household items for you. Okay, and essentials, everything from baby wipes, you know. They got some, what else did I see? Some dish liquid. I know you could get you, you know, some cleaning products. The essentials that you don't necessarily want to go far to get. You can get, it's a one-stop shop for so much more, okay? And you can get your kids some snacks and some goodies, some treats. You can get your flags, your memorabilia, and it always smells like a time in there. I'm telling you, it's great, okay? And the energy is always just right. So head on down to My Lord Variety Store and Smoke Shop. Shout out to you, Allende, and the whole crew. Always much love. Oh yes, also gotta say huge shout out to the Flaming Grill STX. All right, today is Tuesday, so it's roti day. You gotta make sure you go down your order yours on time. 340-778-6270. You get the bone in, get the bone out, get shrimp, baby. So each and every Tuesday is roti day. That's a special for today. All right, also gotta say a huge shout out to Liberty VI, making sure that everybody is starting their year off right with the True Fiber Fever experience. Okay, if you don't know what that is, that's okay, let me put you on. So what they're saying is this fiber experience is making sure that you get the strongest and most reliable internet coverage this side of the equator anywhere in the world. Okay, they're that strong about it, and I'm telling you right now, you're getting up to 1 gigabyte of data for $50. Okay, I don't know where else you're gonna get that right now. One entire gigabyte of data, and it's the most reliable service, they're saying, and you can get it installed right now for free on any day that ends with Y. It was only on Fiber Fridays, and now it's any day of the week. Just head on in, let them know Nick sent you. You get a free installation as well as a 30-day money-back guarantee on your services. So go and check them out. You can also head to libertyvi.com for more information. All right. So also got to remind you guys, Saturday, August 1st is a night of vibes down at Levels. All right. That's on 54B Company Street, Christiansted. All right, it's $20 before 12, and doors open at 10 p.m. So it's gonna be hosted by DJ Kimo Dan. Okay, it's Gaza Empire versus Trinidad. So we heading on now. We're gonna have us a time. On the Gaza side, we got Party Jesus, Star General, Fire Emblem Sounds, dang 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 dang. And we also got representing Trinidad, DJ Chubby, Lunatic Sounds, DJ Genius, and Mr. Energy. I see how you're doing it big. That's Saturday night, August 1st, 2026. That is the day of the primary. So you head to the polls, make sure that you get your vote in. Right after the announcements, you head on down and you can let loose, take a drink, because we're going to find out who is winning these primary elections on August 1st. Lord have mercy. Talk to me nice. All right, gotta say a huge thank you to our listeners, everybody out there in Radio World, on the dial, as well as everybody on the TuneIn app, and on the Facebook Live. A shout out to you guys. Y'all are real MVPs, man. I can't complain. Also want to remind you guys that if you want to schedule your interviews, a call for information, do not reach out to us on social media. I beg. Please don't reach out to us on social media. There's too many things that come up on social media, too many, messages that, the really important things get drowned in the sauce. So, Yeah, and that's from day to day. So imagine just having to dig through that all the time. So when if you're really serious, if you're really about your business, if you really have information, if you really want information, if you really want to get involved, if you really want to advertise, if you want to schedule an interview, whatever the case, if you want to sponsor something, listen, talk to us, right? And that number to call is 340-204-8512. That number again is 340-204-8512. All right, give us a call. That's right here at the station. That is not the number to call on the dial. That is strictly for business purposes. So be sure to utilize it right, okay? Also, thank you guys for that. And there's no Bustina Mana without you guys, man. So until next time, grab a cup and pull up. It's your girl Neeks right here at Bustina Mana. We got Angela Yee coming up next with the midday. Oh yeah, she got the Way Up show, the midday show, and she got some more tea for you guys. So tea all day long, okay? Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. It's always a pleasure rocking with you guys in the morning. Shout out Shamari and the whole crew. Shout out. I gotta say, everybody that listens and tunes in. Much love always. Until next time, keep your hands attended to and treat each other well. All right? Until next time, I'll see you later. Keep it locked. Don't touch that dial.
For $50 a month and a 30-day money-back guarantee? Are you fiber kidding me? I'm in! Charles, take the mic.